Just a few words about the Kemppi itself, because it may be that, to somebody of you, it's totally new thing in that sense, a unknown company. So it was founded in 1949 by Martti Kemppi here in Lahti, Finland, and it is still a private family-owned company. And currently there is the third generation in charge of the company or the group of companies. And the current situation is that we do have around 800 plus employees in 17 different countries. And even though the company is run by Kemppi family, still the CEO is actually from the outside in that sense. And we do have somewhere around 16 subsidiaries at the moment, basically concentrating mostly to the European market, but we do have subsidiaries, basically sales offices also in China, India, and Australia, for example. But mostly the main business area is in European market. And from this picture, basically you're able to see the how wide the scope in that sense is. So as I mentioned, we do have the headquarters here in Lahti, and also basically all of the welding machines are manufactured here in Finland in the Lahti factory. In addition, we do have a couple of other production facilities also in China and in Italy. And in Italy, they are basically a part called Trafimet. So it's an Italian-based company that Kemppi acquired 2 years ago. And they are manufacturing safety equipment and some guns and torches for the welding industry, basically. And in China, we do have our own factory for manufacturing cables needed in the welding machines, welding systems, plus manufacturing guns and torches for the Kemppi welding machines. But as mentioned, the headquarters here in Finland, and most of the, let's say, actions and divisions working from here. But then the subsidiaries, all of the orange ones in the map, basically they are the sales offices, the subsidiaries that we have all around the globe in that sense. And as you can see, also Iceland is on this dark color, so it means that we do have the local distributor in Icelandic market, Landwehr in this case. And basically, as you are able to see, we do have something like over 260 repair workshops and dealers. Oh, actually, the amount of dealers is, I think, somewhere around 700, 800 different dealers globally. But then these repair workshops are on top of that in that sense. And we are delivering at the moment around to 70 or over countries worldwide. And here is a snapshot about Kemppi's offering. So of course the main thing is the welding equipment itself, from the portable, very compact machines to robotized solutions to system class solutions for the industrial welding, demanding welding, and so on. In addition, we do manufacture and sell our own welding safety equipment, as you can see, these helmets, respirators, and so on. And then on top of that, to make it, let's say, a complete package for the customers, we are able to deliver software and digital services, and they are connected to the welding itself naturally and connected to the welding machines also. And I will tell you a few words about that one later on. And then naturally, we do have welding experts in our companies, meaning that we are able to solve customer problems, to consultate, to give some training sessions and support overall when it comes to the welding related questions and matters. Basically, this is how we see the world in that sense. Wherever you go, you are never far from a weld. And Kempi's basically aim is to create or make the world a little bit more secure and safer place by offering solutions for the quality welding overall. So no matter where you are usually pretty close in that sense of some kind of welding happening or structures that have been manufactured by welding. And our solutions, the Kempi equipment together with the software, basically they assure and ensure the quality level, high quality level for the end products. When we think about the welding overall, there is a lot of different requirements. Naturally, this is always case by case. So if you are welding and manufacturing some kind of, let's say, very simple, small products, then it may be that there isn't that many requirements for your welding job or welding project or for your welding production. But the more we climb into the steps, upper to the more critical welding, to more bigger assemblies, more bigger projects, and so on, the more you get requirements also. It can be related to the local legislation. For example, if it's something related to the pressure vessels or whatsoever, or to the nuclear industry or to the energy sector overall, possibly to the offshore and oil and gas sector and so on. Or it may be coming directly from the end customer who is basically ordering the project from you. And basically what we have found out that, the customers, they need to actually manage personnel and qualifications and the requirements related to that one. They need to manage welding procedures so that, that the quality welding is happening according to the welding procedures and that you are overall in general level even using the procedures, the welding instructions, and not just welding without knowing that what are the parameters and how to do it. Then if you are delivering projects, you have requirements how to deliver the project, maybe how to document the project and how to manage the, let's say, workflow inside of the project overall. And in addition, naturally, it may be that, sometimes it comes from the standards, from the norms, or from the end customer that you need to verify and monitor the welding quality also. And all of these things, they form the big picture about these overall requirements and quality assurance things related to the welding itself. And when there are these restrictions and requirements, there are also a lot of standards, as we all most probably know. So the main points, the things that are the most common in that sense for the welding is that your welders know how to weld and that they are qualified in order to be sure that they actually know how to do the job in that sense. And that has the relation to the welding procedure specification, to the WPS also. So these are the, let's say, we call them, let's say, cornerstones of the quality welding. And sometimes, these need to be documented also and managed in that sense. And, as I mentioned, it's not for all of the, welding workshops, but the higher the quality level and the risk level of the end product is, the more, for example, these things are required from the welding workshops. And now I will give you a couple of, let's say, case examples, how these restrictions, how these documents and these standards can be connected to the welding itself, instead of them being just papers on some kind of office, on your drawer, on your desk or whatsoever. How to make it more, let's say, today or future-proof technology. So, I have, some examples about the digitalization of the documents. Why should you print out papers? Why should you stamp those anymore? Why should you, send the actual papers or give them to the welder if you are able to do that digitally faster and, avoiding basically any, let's say, human mistakes and so on. Why should do you collect the data manually anymore if there are digital tools for it? Why should you handle the workflows manually if there is already more modern solutions for that one, and so on? There are a lot of these different aspects that the digital tools and WELDI, for example, is able to answer in that sense, or create the solution for you. First of all, I hope and trust that most probably many of you know what these welding procedures are. So they are basically the instructions for the welder how to do this kind of a welding job or weld joint in order to verify that, or to make sure that the quality level of that joint is as it should be. This WELDI solution is offering a WPS management system for you, where you're able to create these procedures, where you're able to draw the pictures of these joint types, for example, as you're able to see here. And basically it offers you also a way to share these documents to the welders, because naturally the welders are able then to take a look on the WPS when they start the job, and then they're able to set up the welding machines. They're able to select the correct parent materials, the plates, pipes, and so on, to select the correct gas, select the filler wire, and so on, based on the information which is stated in the WPS document itself. This thing, in this picture, you're able to see basically this can be printed out, so it can be still a paper. But as I mentioned, why should you actually print any papers nowadays if you have more modern tools for it? The solution for is that, for some Kempi welders, we are able to send the digital WPSs directly to the welding machine itself. Basically, it means that when the welder is taking a look from his own welding station, he's able to see the library of the company's WPSs. And if he's selecting one procedure into use, it will actually also set the welding parameters based on this WPS. One additional good point is that, now as you don't need to deliver or send any papers anymore to the welders, if you need to make some kind of a revision to the document, it is automatically then updated also in these digital WPSs. So they are not, by an accident welding based on the old revision anymore. And basically this is how it looks like with this Kempi X8 MIG welder, where we have the user interface directly showing the digital WPS's contents, also these pictures, for example. But basically it is showing to the welder all same information as in this paper version stated or shown here. So everything is also visible through the welding machine itself. Additionally, this data can be viewed from a mobile phone. So we do have a Kemppi app for it. It's called WeldEye app. And if you are using this WPS module, then all of your WPSs are automatically synced to this mobile app. And if your welders carry this Android phone in their pockets, they are able to access all of your WPSs through the app itself. In those cases, it does not automatically set the parameters to the welding machine, but at least it's always on hand, the collection of the WPSs itself. Then the second thing, the traceability, or the, let's say, data collection from the welding. Sometimes you need to document the welding, meaning that you need to actually collect the welding parameters from the welding machine, or maybe not the actual welding parameters itself, but the information that who has welded, what weld he has been welding, what WPS was used, what was the time and date that it was welded, what was the filler used, what was the filler batch used, or what was the WPS used. This kind of information. And the traditional way is to use pen and paper, or in this case, as you are able to see, hopefully from the picture, that the welder has been using this kind of a chalk marker right next to the weld itself. So directly writing the information to the welded plates. But what if this traceability could be collected digitally from the welding stations automatically? So if this welder would have been using this WeldEye app on his own mobile phone, or from the company phone, naturally, he would have been stating that I will start preparing this job, this weld. I'm using this wire. I'm, by the way, this welder now, so he would be logging in. I'm using this WPS and so on. So at that point, all of the data, who welded, which weld or piece or product was welded, when it was welded, which WPSs were used, which parameters were used, and also the heat input can be verified for this welding job. So basically, welding logs can be collected digitally directly from the source itself, and the source means the welding machine and the welder when they are doing the job. No more papers to write down the welding logs or whatsoever. Also, this is a very nice way to eliminate any, let's say, human mistakes, because if the numbers, for example, for the batch number are, long, if there is, for example, 9 digits or 6 digits, then there is multiple ways on doing some kind of a small mistake, just writing an incorrect number or whatsoever, and then your documentation is not, let's say, bulletproof anymore. I mentioned that if we are collecting the data automatically from the welding stations, we could also control the workflow itself digitally. And this can be done also using these kind of solutions like WeldEye. And what it means is that, the supervisor, the team leader, the foreman, whoever is basically deciding that what to manufacture next in the workshop, they are able to create digital work orders through Weldeye system and send them directly either to this Kemppi X8 MIG welder or to other Kemppi welding stations, or actually also to other welding stations overall, if the welders are using this Weldeye app. So they are able to see that, hey, now my boss has sent this kind of job that I need to prepare these 5 welds for this pipeline, for example, today still, because they are missing from the installation site. No need for human contacts in that sense. And this is actually, unfortunately, this is something that is a trend today, as due to the reason that we are all suffering from this COVID-19 epidemic. And in that sense, so as I mentioned, tasks can be sent to specified welders, specified welding stations, or to everybody in the workshop to be picked from the list. And when the welders are choosing these jobs, we are able to see also the overall working time. So it gives you a measurement tool for the next time when you are basically doing quotations to offer your projects to somebody in that sense. So you know that last time we were able to do it, let's say, in 300 hours overall. So then you know how to calculate the pricing for the next quotations even in that sense. Once again, something that if you know these things from the past, most probably you have been measuring them using some kind of a stopwatches or whatsoever. So a digital way to measure the workflow also and to manage it. Then also productivity. Basically, this is not our main point with Weldeye. Quality is the main point in that sense, but you understand most probably that if we are collecting the welding parameters, if we are collecting the wire feed speeds and so on, then we are actually getting the productivity also. So we are collecting welding parameters, arc on time, wire feed speed, and so on. And it means that this way we're able to see that are we suffering from some kind of a bottlenecks in our production? Is there some kind of a optimization needed? Are there some welding machines that are never used? Do we have enough of welding machines, and so on? So basically some kind of a statistical fact information related to the productivity issues also. That is provided by the Weldeye solution. And overall, from this picture, you're able to see that how the Weldeye app and connectivity is used with our almost brand new welding station, which is this MasterTIC from the Kemppi portfolio in that sense. In the background, you're able to see this kind of a black box which states DCM. And this DCM, that is a connectivity device that we are connecting to the welding machine, and that's collecting the parameters and sending to this Weldeye app itself. And basically what we are doing here is that we are combining the mobile world, the digitalization, together with the welding machines used. So from the screen, the welder is able to see that what should he do, what kind of a WPSs we do have here, what to use. And as you're able to see that now welder is actually setting up the parameters to the welding machine according to the WPS itself. So it is basically a communication tool and also a feedback provider for the welder itself in these kind of cases. Do you have any questions at this point? You're able to ask.
I just have one question, that is, can we, in what machines can we use the weld die? Is it every machine from Kempi or just some particular machines?
Yeah, that's a good question. Basically, we are providing a universal solution. So it means that we are naturally able to use some of the Kempi equipment really easily. This X8 welding machine that you saw previously in these pictures, where was it? Here. This one, for example, that has the inbuilt connectivity to the weld die. So the control pad on the right hand side is a part of the welding station itself. That's the remote panel basically for the welder, and that has the weld die functionalities inbuilt already. So if these machines are used, then actually you don't need to get anything separately in order to use weld die. But when it comes to the other Kempi welding stations, in this picture, there is only a wire feeder actually visible, but that's for the FastMix series. So with the FastMix series, this kind of a DCM, digital connectivity module, is needed. And then in this last picture that I showed to you here, the MasterTIC, the brand new MasterTIC, with that one also we are connecting using this digital connectivity module. So that's basically always needed in these Kempi machine cases. But as I mentioned, that the system is universal. So that means that we have these devices called ARC adapters, and they are connected also to the alien machines, as somebody from Kempi has some way stated. So basically, you are able to connect it also to the ESAP machines, to the Mechatronic machines, to the Fronius machines, and so on. So we do have these additional devices to connect weld die also to these cases. And it is actually a fact that there is a large number of customers who have started using weld die system already, even though they haven't been, let's say, Kempi customers earlier. So this has been opening the doors in that sense for us also, that we are not, locked only to the Kempi offering in that sense. And as mentioned, naturally from the Kempi machines, we are able to get the data collected easier, and we are able to get, for example, wire consumption from the Kempi machines only, but unfortunately it's not available for the competitors' welding machines. So there are these different aspects of the case, but overall we are providing a universal solution in that sense.
Do you know how much we have to pay for this, for weld die, if we are using other machines than Kempi?
That naturally then depends that what kind of devices do you have and so on. But this kind of adapter is needed naturally. And I'm not sure actually that what is the official price for the adapters in Icelandic. Am I right? Do you have euros there? Because I cannot remember anymore when I visited you last time.
We have the universal Icelandic krona.
Okay, yeah. So then I don't know the rate for it, but Oli can grant you the prices in that sense. So he is able to tell you the local prices, at least in that sense.
We will ask
that is the, yeah. And we do have, these, different modules in Weldai. And for example, IDAN Institute, you are already using the VP and PQ module at the moment. So there is, in that sense, there is a reference case also in the Icelandic market already. So most probably Christian can help on demonstrating the system if some customers are interested also in that sense. But these digital work orders, for example, and then the traceability, productivity things, they are additional modules, because then it's about the data collection itself. And now the VP and PQ module for the welders and for the qualifications of the welders and for the welding procedures, that's not data collection itself. That's basically a document management system, a simple module for that one. Any other questions from the audience?
Not from me. Strákar, eitthvað að spyrja? Endilega spyrja því, ég skal reyna að þýða.
Jú, ein spurning frá mér Unnar þú mátt spyrja hvernig það getur staðfest inn í vélina vottaðan suðuferil.
Okay, he's asking how can you...
Þá ég að tala 15614 en ekki 15612 eins og kempið með.
Can you verify the information or the welding procedure for different standard? Hvað var það? 14? Nei. Unnar.
Það 15614
like 15614 standard. That's one.
Yeah, that's the VPQR standard. Am I right? Related to the how to create the welding procedure based on this welding procedure qualification record related standard. Am I right?
Yes, it's Já, hvað séu vottaður staðall. Vottaður
It's certified welding procedure. It's regarding certification of the standard, that it is done by certificated standard.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. I could, I'm just thinking that, I could basically show even, because we do have a little bit time still left. So I could show directly from the actual system that, how is it done. So here we're going to Weldai. And I assume that you're able to see my screen still.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. So in the welding procedures, when we create new ones, we have different options per different standard also. So we have the EN ISO, then we have EN ISO as a dynamic layout, so it's almost the same. Then we have AWS supported ASME. Well, this is pretty far from Iceland. This is Australian and New Zealand standards. And then there is also Japanese industrial standards supported. But this VPQR, for example, this is, as you can see, well, it's pretty small letters there, but this is based on the ISO 15614 standard itself, this VPQR layout. And then when this VPQR So the qualification record has been done. Here we have, the VPQR itself, and then the test results, and so on. So then those ones are copied. They can be copied to the actual WPS layouts also. But these are fulfilling the standard needs, but I'm not 100% sure that what did you mean by that. Are we able to verify based on the standard?
What I mean, if you are verifying some issue and you need to use 15.6, 14.1, and then you have to have the verified standard. Am I right? But how is it possible to show it if it is in the machine or in the app or in the phone or something like that?
Well, basically how the process goes is that when you do the the welding procedure qualification test based on this standard stated here, then you basically fill in to this record of the weld test. You do all of the results from your test, they are put to here in that sense, to this page. What was the process that you used and so on? What were the welding parameters that you used? If you want to fill out the test results from the test piece, they added also here. And then the range of approval, because this 15614, it has some rules inside of it. So then it means that there is this range of qualification. So then you need to fill in this one also to see that, where are you qualified with this procedure. And based on that, then you are able to create the official WPSs. Let me see, for example, here, this is some kind of a, let's say, Kemppi Universal WPS that we are actually also selling from the Kemppi. So as you're able to see here, now this is then the actual WPS that the welders are following when they weld. And if they you need to do this kind of a joint type, for example. So this is then done. But if you mean that if you need to actually show that you are following the WPS also, then it's done so that the welder is selecting, for example, this WPS from the phone itself, that now I will be welding based on this WPS. And when we measure the welding parameters itself from the welding station, they are then compared to these parameter limits stated here. So we are actually measuring current and voltage. And if there is a problem that the welder is not following these parameters here, then there will be deviation in the system. And it looks like this. Let me see. Here. So now in this case, Henry Welder was the welder. He was welding actually 14 minutes. So it was a pretty long weld in that sense. He was using this kind of a WPS. He was using this kind of a welding station. Filler material used was the basic ESAB Outrod, for example. And now we can see that here are the measurements itself. So the gray or black lines here, they are the WPS limits. that the welder should have been following. The lowest one here is the voltage, then there is the current in the middle, and then the heat input is in the between, the upper one. And we can see that welder was using way too small current. Also, the voltage was really low, as we can see, from based on the parameter, the WPS itself. But as the welding speed was really low here, really low, it seems actually no progress at all, it seems. So that means that it caused that the heat input was really high and way over the itself. So this is how you are able to verify the quality in that sense, that has the procedure been welded according to the actual planning in that sense. And there is another. Yeah, here we have a little bit more shorter weld. So you can see that the welding has been going on somewhere around 60 to 70, 60 to 80 amps, but welder should have been actually using 200 amps or more. And the same with the voltage also. So once again, there is a potential for the welding defects in that sense. So these kind of digital tools, we are not maybe doing this doesn't have the effect to the welding machine itself. Welding machines, the main business of the welding machine itself is still that they produce high quality welds in that sense. But from the outside of the welding station, there is a lot of things happening in the workshops that need either data collection, some kind of digitalization, and so on. And these kind of cloud systems like this WELDEYE software here, they bring the additional value for the customer, because then they are able to connect more to the welding process itself. It's not about the actual weld only anymore. It's about the documentation related to the welding. It's about the efficiency of the welding, quality of the welding, and so on. All these things, they come together in that sense.
What about the welding inspectors that are independent? How can they be assured that it was done by according to the standard? If they have some questions.
Yeah. Well, for example, this is one way to show that we have this WELDEYE is basically this kind of a quality system. Naturally, you do have the actual standards. Maybe you have the ISO 3834, the quality system for the welding production in your workshop and so on. And those state that you need to handle the traceability of the welding jobs some way. You need to handle the random checks of the used parameters some way, and so on. And to these things, we are basically providing the tools, because if you use WELDEYE and if you use this quality management of WELDEYE, then you are not doing any more random checks actually from the parameters. You are doing that 24/7. So you're collecting it constantly. And I was visiting yesterday one customer actually who has been using WELDEYE now for 3 years, and they use this full package that you're able to see here also. They do some jobs for the oil refineries and for the structural steel, so pretty, let's say, large variety of different jobs that they do. They weld both stainless steel and also ferrous steel, in that sense, black steel, mild steel, and so on. And they mentioned that, their end customers, plus all of the inspectors, plus all of the auditors, they basically, when they see that this kind of a system is used, then they are happy with that one, and they are not anymore digging into very deep details with this customer, because they see instantly that this customer has already this kind of a system on place, so there is no need to, let's say, bully them anymore. So basically the yearly audition audits have been easier for them since they started to use Weldeye in that sense.
Okay. There's one in the audience that would like to ask a question.
Yeah.
Hello. I was wondering, is it possible to get Weldeye to learn a new WPS? And is it possible because of in certain countries, if they're making a new documentations and new standards, is it possible to get the program to work with that?
Yeah, so you mean that, new additional standards supported?
Yes, exactly, and make it so it works with the government, and they take the new WPS as a legal document.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is a possibility, and these are the ones that we have been adding once in a while when the customers have been asking, and if there is, it doesn't matter that is it coming from some kind of a local standard, or if it's even, let's say that it's a big group of companies, or a big company who has their own WPS layout, and they would like to add that one to the system. So we are able to do both of these. So we are able to add the support for new standards, and we are able to add also customized local standards for the customers itself, if they need to have some kind of a layout of their own to the system. So that's not a problem. And for example, we didn't start with the Weldeye with this Australian and New Zealand standard, for example, but nowadays, as we do have a strong subsidiary in the Australian and New Zealand market, so then we were basically forced to add this kind of support for these Australian standards in the system, because we were getting customers using Weldeye, but they needed the support for the local standard also. So these are fully compatible.
Okay. Another question for the inspector, when he takes out the project, if he wants to see a welding number, say 21, it's possible to show him the heat, the wire per minute, and everything that we are using through Weldeye.
Yeah, that's correct. If you are using the projects from the system itself, let me see. I have here my demo projects, so to speak. Did I have any welding? I think I had. So for example, now there is this kind of a process pipeline project, and I have a part of the pipeline called pipeline 01, pipeline 02, and so on. So I have been cutting the project into smaller pieces in this structure. We call it the tree structure. And under pipeline 1, I have, for example, the spool 011. And this small pipe spool has been welded with 3 different welds. And now I am able to see that, how was, for example, the weld number 2 done. So this way you're able to find all of the welds done. I'm able to see that it was Harry Welder doing it. He was using the WPS 135, BV, PA, and so on. I'm able to see that, what filler materials were used, what filler batches, and if I click here, I'm able to see also the travel speed calculated and also the average heat input calculated for this weld. So everything is documented what comes to this specific welding. And in the end, basically maybe you have 10 welds, maybe you have 50 welds, or you have 500 welds or 5,000 welds in your project, but they are all stored to these tables, and you have the full traceability after the project has been completed to the welding log itself. And you are able to export the documentation also using the system. So you're able to get a document package where you have the drawings of your project listed and attached. You have the welding logs attached. You have all of the VPQRs and the WPSs used for this project. You have all of the batch certificates for the materials attached to the project automatically. Everything is connected, and then they are available from this documentation tool. We have here the export documentation function. So here you just list, or select from here that, what are the documents that you want to export as a package. So there are a lot of these kind of options.
Okay, thank you. But last question, sorry about me. If I have an original version of Weldai, the first edition, is it possible for me to transfer all the documents from that software over to the new Weldai?
Yeah, basically that's also a possibility, and we may have also some possibilities to connect these two systems together. So if you're using the traditional, let's say, original version of Weldai, so that's also a possibility. So we are able to discuss about these details separately if you would like to.
Thank you so much.
Okay, hey, my time is unfortunately running out, so I will go back to the slide set here. In the end, this is what we don't want to see from the manufacturing point of view or from the Kemppi point of view. And this is the reason why we basically do these quality management supporting systems in order to avoid any nature disasters, oil disasters, or whatever, or a bridge collapsing. So we just want to verify and basically make the world a little bit safer place in that sense. So that's the main point from I think from all of us in that sense. And as I mentioned, we do have the local support in the Icelandic market. So here is Oli's information. I hope this is correct. I think Oli is still on the line, hopefully. So you're able to contact also him if you have any questions coming up related to this presentation, for example, or when it comes to the Kemppi machine support whatsoever. All things related to the Weldai or Kemppi overall.